I'm Joanna Caldwell from Otter Creek Yoga in Middlebury, Vermont. We have been creating these small home practice videos for people to be able to keep their yoga practice going at home. And I've heard from a few people who, for different reasons, recovering from a surgery or recovering from illness, have really liked the videos that are more focused just on the breathing. And that's what this one is. I'm going to be posting some more videos soon that have more of a full asana practice. But today is just a short, simple breathing practice. And I'm just going to say a couple things before we get into it. First of all, thank you, Paula, for this beautiful peacock card. I love peacocks. They are said to be very special birds in that they can eat really toxic materials, poisonous things, and they metabolize them. They don't get sick. I think there's just something kind of magical about that, that kind of inner strength that the peacock has, or the very resilient digestive system that the peacock has. Who knows how or why it evolved that way? If anyone knows, please send me a comment. I'd love to know. But I think that this time that we're living in right now, where there is a lot of fear, and completely understandable. And I was just thinking about how, none of us have ever lived through anything quite like this before. And so this measure that seems kind of extreme, this social distancing that we're all practicing in order to flatten the curve and try to keep the cases of illness down enough that our healthcare system doesn't become overburdened. This is, not only a very sensible public health measure, but it's also a spiritual practice. And I really want to encourage all of us to view this as a spiritual practice. There isn't any reason to think that your daily life is separate from your spiritual life. That the choices that you make right now in regarding to even simple things like when you go to the store to get provisions for yourself and your family, just take what you need, and there isn't any reason to panic and take more than you need. And we're seeing in our community here in Vermont just this outpouring abundance of generosity. We're seeing restaurants giving away food to anyone who needs it. We are seeing people stepping up in really creative ways. And I'm just so grateful for all the support of our yoga studio that we're able to keep going and keep afloat because so many people are being so generous. And sharing these videos also is a way you can be generous and help friends who might really need a breathing practice. So let's get into it. This one, I do welcome you to lie down. You don't need to see me for this part that I'm going to be teaching, and to lie down in a comfortable place, ideally on a firm surface, like maybe just your yoga mat or a blanket on the floor, and with your knees bent, with your feet flat on the floor. That could be a really nice position. Those who have a little more experience with these breathing practices, if you want to do it sitting up tall, you can. It is really nice lying down. And this one could also be great to do throughout the day. If you find yourself getting anxious, give it a try. It could also be a really nice thing to practice at night before bed. We're going to show you a picture of human lungs, and I just wanted you to have that image so you can see the shape of the lung, and you can see that our heart is cradled in between our two lungs. And we're going to be talking about this idea of the heart expanding on the exhalation. This is something that a lot of spiritual practices have been developed over goodness knows how long. But this idea that with the exhalation, when your lungs deflate, there's more space, and this idea that the heart would actually expand into that space. So we see that the heart is cradled between the two lungs, and that when the lungs inflate, you can think of it almost like your heart is getting a little hug. And we all know that lovely feeling when you give somebody a tight hug, and we will be able to do that again, I promise. But we're not hugging so much now. We're practicing this social distancing. So just to think about a hug, though, and what that feels like, and when you give somebody a good long squeezy hug and then you let go of that hug, there's this lovely kind of expansive quality. So you can think about your heart having that expansive quality. So let's just take together a really nice deep breath in and out. And picturing the shape of those two lungs, and that deflating lung, that the heart has more space for its natural expansion. So what we're going to be playing with now is a really soft, light breath in and out. Let's just try that. Really soft, really light, followed by a deeper, fuller breath in and out. And picturing that shape of the lung, that wider part down at the bottom and then a narrower part up at the top, we can imagine when we're doing that deeper, fuller breath that we're filling the lung from the bottom up toward the top, and that exhaling from the top down to the bottom. And for this deeper, fuller breath, it's fine if you want to play with, well, how deep can I go? And how long can I breathe out for? But then, when you do that soft, light breath afterwards, you have to really pay attention to that breath and the quality of that breath. Because when you take that soft, light breath, if you feel like, I need breath, that means you did too much on the deep, full breath. So that soft, light breath, we call that the recovery breath. It's also a kind of recalibration breath. So all we're doing, again to repeat, is a really soft, light breath followed by a deeper, fuller, longer breath. Then you do the soft, light breath again. So I'm going to just talk you through about 5 rounds of that, okay? So let's start. Again, if you are lying down, before we start, if you're lying down, just feel for a moment that you're even lying on the floor, that your pelvis feels even, your knees are bent, you feel your back supported by the floor, you feel your shoulder blades supported. If you're recovering and you're in bed or lying on the couch or something, that's fine too. Just get as even as you can. You feel the back of your skull on the support. If you're sitting up to do this, you just want to sit up nice and tall. Okay, so let's do that, starting with the soft, light breath in and out. And then long, slow, smooth breath, like you're filling the lungs from the bottom up to the top, emptying from the top down to the bottom. And then you do the soft, light breath again. And let's repeat. Nice, long, smooth breath in. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Smooth, full breath out, emptying from the top to the bottom. Soft breath in and out. Now do 3 more like that at your own pace. And when you're done, come back to just those easy, soft, light breaths in and out. So now we're going to do 3 more breaths like this. And the only thing I'm going to add is that when we are doing the exhalation on the big, deep, full breath, we're going to see if we can visualize this area at the heart expanding. And the yogis call this the Anahata chakra, the heart center. And it's also sometimes called the seat of the soul. So you're going to start again with that light, soft breath in and out. And then nice, full, deep breath, smooth breath in, filling the lungs. And then when you're exhaling, as the lungs deflate, see if you can visualize that heart center expanding. You might even picture it like a glow. Back to the soft, light breath in and out. Nice, full, deep breath in. Take your time. When you exhale, imagine that heart center expanding. And you can listen to the sound of your exhale. Nice, soft, light, easy breath. Good. And then one more big, full, deep breath. And then when you're exhaling, bring your awareness right to the heart. As your lungs deflate, you feel that natural expansion of your heart center. And then come back to easy, soft breathing. And know that this kind of breath practice, just paying attention to the in-breath and the out-breath, especially paying attention to your exhalation, is so useful when your mind feels anxious or if your heart starts beating fast. Take a break from your news feed and come back to your breath and come back to your heart, and then reach out to your neighbors. Make sure everyone's doing okay. This is why we have a yoga practice. We have a yoga practice to be strong and stable. We have a yoga practice to find our own vastness, our spacious heart, and to be able to be present for one another. So thank you very much for watching this. I appreciate you. Reach out for help if you need it. Make yourself available to everyone who might need help around you. We can do this.